Here is a detailed account of how each of the 12 disciples of Jesus is believed to have died. Based on historical accounts, church tradition, and some early Christian writings, Jesus chose 12 disciples to spread the gospel, and each of them carried the message of Christ to the ends of the earth. But their journey was not easy. Most of them faced intense persecution and died for their faith. Let's take a look at how each of them met their end. 1. Simon Peter crucified upside down. Peter, the outspoken leader of the disciples, preached boldly about Jesus. He was sentenced to death when he was arrested in Rome under Emperor Nero. But Peter requested to be crucified upside down, feeling unworthy to die the same way as his Lord. 2. James, son of Zebedee, was beheaded. James, the brother of John, was the first disciple to be martyred. King Herod Agrippa had him beheaded in Jerusalem around 44 AD. His execution pleased the Jewish leaders, leading to further persecution of Christians. 3. John died of old age. John, the beloved disciple, was the only one who died a natural death. He was exiled to the island of Patmos, where he wrote the book of Revelation. Later, he returned to Ephesus and died peacefully in old age. 4. Andrew, crucified on an X-shaped cross. Andrew, Peter's brother, was a great missionary. He was crucified on an X-shaped cross in Greece. He continued preaching to the people for 2 days while hanging on the X-shaped cross before he died. 5. Philip, crucified or stoned to death. Philip preached in Asia Minor. One account says he was crucified upside down, while another states he was stoned to death in Hierapolis for converting a Roman official's wife to Christianity. 6. Bartholomew, Nathanael, was flayed alive and beheaded. Bartholomew took the gospel to India and Armenia. He was flayed alive, his skin was removed, and then beheaded for preaching about Jesus in Armenia. 7. Matthew, stabbed to death. Matthew, the former tax collector, wrote the Gospel of Matthew. He was believed to have been stabbed to death in Ethiopia while spreading the gospel. 8. Thomas, speared to death. Thomas, known as Doubting Thomas, took the gospel to India. He was speared to death by Hindu priests who opposed his teachings about Christ. His tomb remains in India today. 9. James, son of Alphaeus, thrown from the temple and beaten. James, also called James the Less, was a leader in the early church in Jerusalem. He was thrown off the temple walls, and when he survived the fall, was beaten to death with a club. 10. Thaddeus Jude was clubbed or axed to death. Thaddeus, also called Jude, preached in Persia. He was either clubbed to death or killed with an axe by those who opposed his message. 11. Simon the Zealot, sawed in half. Simon the Zealot traveled as far as Persia, spreading the gospel. He was sawed in half for refusing to worship false gods. 12. Judas Iscariot died by suicide. Judas Iscariot, the disciple who betrayed Jesus for 30 silver coins, was overcome with guilt. He threw the money into the temple and went out to hang himself. These 12 men dedicated their lives to Jesus and paid the ultimate price for their faith. Their courage and devotion helped spread Christianity throughout the world. Even today, their stories remind us of the power of faith and the cost of following Christ.